Good morning. I hope everyone had a good weekend and you are doing well. So I wanted to talk today about what we can do in the home to really make our environment better for our loved ones. So I first wanted to talk about limiting distractions and noise. So some of that we can do, some things we're not in control of, but we can really only work on the things that work for us in our situation. So one thing that happens when someone has dementia is that they might have a hard time blocking out unnecessary stimuli. So think of our senses. So normally if we hear a TV in the other room or someone on the phone or maybe a timer going off, we can very easily tell what those sounds and noises are. But for someone with dementia, it might make a simple task much more difficult because they're not able to process all of that information. So what are some things that we can do? We can try and keep our surroundings quiet when possible. We can declutter so there's less to look at visually. We can try to use heavy curtains or at least close the windows so that we're limiting that noise from the outside from that street traffic. You could also lower the volume of music or TV as needed. So our loved one might need it raised, if they have any hearing issues. But if it's something in the background or if it's just something you have on, think about trying to make it a lower volume if possible. When we invite people over to the house, it is a lot of stimulation if we have a big crowd. So having maybe just 1 to 2 people at a time can be really helpful. And at the same time, if our loved one becomes agitated, know that we can kind of end that visit short. And that's always an option for us. Another thing that you could do is to designate a room in your house that's kind of just the quiet room. So it could be really soothing. Maybe it has dimmer lights. It has your loved one's favorite blanket, maybe some music that they enjoy or pictures that they love looking at. And it's just a room that when you can see that they're overly stimulated or maybe getting agitated, it can be a safe, quiet space they can go. And this can be something you use as well if you have the option to have your own quiet space or share the same one, because even as a caregiver, sometimes you need that time to decompress. When you're in public, you kind of want to try and avoid those crowds because that again is a lot of stimulation to look at and sound as well. So sometimes that might mean going at different times of the day, maybe going to a store in the hours that are less busy. And the other thing you could do is just give your loved one breaks as needed. So if you have a lot of activities packed into a day, just be mindful of giving them breaks if you're noticing that they're maybe a little tired or a little agitated. So those are all small things that we can do to help limit that noise and distraction. And like I said before, we just can do what works best for our situation and for our loved one. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or tips that work for you when you were trying to do this yourself, I'd love to hear about it. I'm sure other caregivers would as well. So we will talk again soon. Bye.